5 years ago, I stood in front of some of you as we all came together to celebrate Joe and Stan's 50th wedding anniversary. So some of the things I'm going to speak about now, I spoke about then. So for those who have not lost their long-term memory, I apologize for the repetition. And for the rest of us, it still bears repeating. Some of my best memories of as a kid are from spending time here in East Lansing. Grew up in Connecticut. And it was my introduction to big-time university and to football games. And I remember going to those games with Stanley and coming back to the house where Joe was, along with my grandparents, Dinah and Jack. And we used to go out to dinner at some family restaurant, like a family-style restaurant. I've forgotten the name, but it was a place we could all go and enjoy and eat all the yummy food that we never got in Stanford. In those days, Joe was teaching either part-time at MSU or at a community college, I don't remember, but somehow she always had plenty of time to be with us. One vivid memory I do have of them visiting us in Stamford, Connecticut, was when my mother, Maxine, took Joe out to get her hair cut and set. I stayed home and babysat for Josh, who was their only child at the time. And when Joe returned looking quite glamorous, I might add, she was unrecognizable to Josh, who hid behind me. So Joe gets out of the car with my mother, and she's standing there looking. I mean, it was fabulous, and there was Josh, like, holding onto my leg. It was very funny. Joe used to make the most delicious baked goods. She was always making cookies and brownies and blondies, and every year at Hanukkah, Joe would send Robin and me our annual gift basket. So we look forward to receiving those goodies, and year after year they came, and then finally they stopped coming. Maybe we were in high school, I don't remember, but what I do remember is how those wonderful sentimental traditions never leave you, no matter how old you are, and how sometimes the person who is the sender doesn't necessarily know how much they mean to the people who receive them, but I hope that you know, Joe, how much they meant to us. It seems hard to believe that we're here celebrating my aunt's 80th birthday, because to me, Joe is ageless. To this day, she tells me she's happy to sleep on the floor of my house when she visits us in Wellesley, which is, of course, completely unacceptable to me, but for her, not a big deal, she says. She has always persevered in her quest for challenges, for breaking down barriers, for teaching without preaching, for listening without judging, and for loving us unconditionally. Joe and Stan recently visited with us to celebrate Rachel's college graduation from Wellesley, and my greatest joy that weekend was having Joe spend time with my two sons, Martin and Zachary, who are now 17, and having them be the same recipients of her selfless, calm, thoughtful persona that I have had the privilege of for all these years. So, when this celebration was first announced, I thought, oh no, Labor Day weekend. But my immediate follow-through was great. I get to see everyone I love, get to celebrate a happy occasion with two of my most favorite loving aunt and uncle. Happy birthday, Joe. Love you very much, and let's keep celebrating.